years old. I'm work at a telecommunications company. I have two pets. I'm married, and I have a daughter. She is 12 years old. I love music and movies. Well, and I'm trying to learn English. Maybe someday I reach this goal.
Probably. It's not that hard. You have to keep going.
Yeah.
It is hard. It is hard, actually.
Depends on the person. Sometimes some people it sounds like so easy, but in my case, it's not so.
It is. When I didn't speak English, I thought it was like just genius could do it. But when I started to get along with the thing and studying a lot and practicing every day, I saw wasn't so. It's not for genius. You just have to keep going and do every day, and don't give up. But it is not our problem. Sometimes we don't have time enough to do it. Okay. So, Eliander, I will put you in a different. Rosalia, can you present yourself while I tap it?
Okay. Hi, guys. I'm Rosalia. I'm 54. I'm trying to study English for 3 years. For myself, it's not easier, but I'm trying every day, trying to speak a little and put it in my day, studying a little every day, trying to learn more and more. But it's not easy, but I'm trying. I will keep that.
Yeah, I started learning English in 2020 as well, so it wasn't very easily in the beginning, but now I'm pretty sure I have a lot of things to learn, but I've learned. Sometimes we just see the way the way forward, and then don't see the back, all the way you already did. So anyway, Ayla, please present yourself.
Good morning. I'm Ayla. I'm from Belém, Pará State. I'm married. I've been studying English for about 2 years, and I live here with my friend. My husband and my daughter, and I have a little dog. Her name is Amelie, and I'm a public servant here in Belém, and so I'm here to improve my speaking, my confidence in speaking English, and that's it.
That's great. And I am Tamis. I am 36. I'm from Minas. And I'm very proud Mineira. I really like everything about Minas. Yeah, not everything, but pretty much everything. And I have a dog as well. I adopted him 8 months ago in last December. And his name was Teddy, but now his name is Farofa because, of course, he's my dog. It's not Teddy anymore. So he became Farofa when he got mine. So let's start with the first question. And that is, what springs to mind when you hear the word pet? Rosalia.
I think when I heard this word pet, it's fine for me, like animals to bring you love, unconditional, and you have these pets in your house, in your garden, to make you more happy. I think is that.
Unconditional love. I think that the love is conditioned to food. What is that unconditional? Anyway,
because when you can can fight with them, then only to see if then they are your
Just,
love.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. No, I'm just kidding. Ayla, what about you?
Yeah, I think the first thing to came my mind is love, because I love my pet, my little dog. For me, it's about love and care as well. For me, that's it.
Great. Ricardo, you said you have 2 pets. What comes to your mind when you hear this word?
I think it's love and careful. I think I love dogs, but I live in an apartment is so difficult, because it's, a dog have a large necessity. I don't know. It's necessary run and other things, but my if love cats. So normally on a house, the women are the boss. So I have to attend, and well, I have 2 cats, King Jin and Pudding, and I think is after some while I appreciate this company, and I think is today I note that cats have a behavior similar to dog, particular King Jin, because he play with balls, and I don't know, he follow you for every place on my apartment, and well, the most part of the day it is sleep, but when they wake up, that's nice. I love.
That's nice. I like cats. I like dogs. I don't understand people. I don't like cats. Maybe you don't get along with cats, but don't like, it means something. Maybe you don't prefer, it's not a favorite thing, but don't like, I think it's too harsh to say to a living thing. So I don't have cats. I just have a dog. But I've had cats all my life, so I like them. So, what animal do you think makes the best pet, and why? Ayla.
The second, yeah. So I think I like the cats and dogs, but I'm a dog person. I think the dogs, they are way better, and even they need more care. I I like I like more dogs than cats. I I think I like so much when I take Amelie for a walk, and she interacts more. I don't know. And the cat is good, but no much. And I prefer a dog.
I understand. I think dogs are more used to the domestic life. Cats is kind of wild sometimes. They are more independent, and
More independent.
yeah, dogs are 100% dependent. If you don't feed them, they will starve to death. So yeah, but it depends on the situation, I think. Anyway, Rosalia, what's your opinion?
Yeah, in my opinion, I like so much dog because I don't like so much cats. I don't know why, but I think the cat is more dependent, as you said, and cat is a little. I have a little worry about that. It's because the even because they lost so much hair. I don't know feels in the house and into the house. I don't like so much. Even you put them inside the house, they into the house. They don't respect. I don't like so much. My the mother, my husband's mothers have a dog, a cat. Then I don't like that. When I go there, it's horrible for me.
We got it. The only thing I don't like about cats because they jump on everything. They get on your fridge, on everything. They scratch things. Sometimes dogs do as well, but they scratch the curtains. My aunt, she had a dog. He climbed all the curtains and go back scratching the curtain. Very expensive curtain. But I think you can train a cat as well. Not like dogs, but you can train the cat. Anyway, Ricardo, and for you, what's the best pet? And why?
I don't know. I think dogs have unconditional love for you. That's I think he's serve example because I think sometimes I watch a dog and I observe. I don't know if it's possible a human being have such a love like dogs, and but I think I read news which the the number one of the pets and nowadays is dogs, but cats. The people have pets, have cats. The people that adopt cats like a pet, and the lately is increased a lot. Nowadays, there are more people adopting cats than dogs. Just because cat is easier you have because it's a independent animal. He clean himself, and I think it's make poo. I don't poop. I'm not sure. On the same local, I think it's easier. No? So, and nowadays the house is decreasing a lot, so most of parts live at apartments, and so I think cats is better than dogs in this case.
Yeah, in apartments, yeah. Well, with the security nets, like safe nets, I don't know the name, but a safety net. Around, you don't need, for example, you don't need to walk a cat, but you need to walk a dog every day. You can't escape it. You can skip it. That we have to walk a dog every day. And I have my dog, he is reactive to other dogs. So I have to walk him in the forest. So I make a trek every day. I walk 3 kilometers up every day because my dog cannot see other dogs. So I have to walk him inside the forest. So it is not easy. If I had a cat, I just opened the door and he would walk away for himself itself. But it is what it is. Anyway, and I was thinking about other type of pets. For example, people have, for instance, pigs, or even cows and bulls as pets. But I think it needs a different environment to them, like atmosphere. But they can have a cow as a pet, and I think it's funny. And they are so lovely. They are really lovely. But for houses and apartments, yeah, dogs and cats, I think. And why do people have pets? Why do we have pets? Why we need, or why do we want to have pets? Ayla, why do you have a dog? Why people have pets? Why do people have pets?
I think maybe pets make people happy, and maybe they have the power to become people more passionate, and in my case, since Amelie arrived in my home, I think my husband, my daughter, and me, we become more careful, more passionate, and I think it's good for us. It's very good because it doesn't have children in my house, and I think Amelie I don't know, our hurts.
Yeah, you said something very interesting. I think people have pets because it's kind of, I don't I'm not saying that it is that, but it's kind of a child who would never live. They will never grow up. They will never get married, and they will never leave you. So you have some living thing to look after forever. So, and they pay it back. They give this love, this caring back to you. So, like when you look after a dog or a cat, they will stay with you. It's not like a child. They will leave. They will leave. It doesn't matter if you are the best parents, they will leave because that's what the human life is. But when you have a pet, you be there until they die. So we have a different type of company, and they don't complain about things. They don't talk. They talk in a different way, but I think it's like a different type of company. Ricardo, one for you.
Number 3, that's why the people have pets. I think there are a lot of reasons that a person have a pet, but I don't know. I think it's necessary to have a pet because you learn a lot of things. Some people need because I don't know why, but sometimes some person can transmit love for an animal, and he can't transmit the same feeling to a human. It's a little weird for me, but for example, I know a guy. There are, I think he is 78 years, I think, old. I'm not sure. And I noticed that he transmits love, but not so much. There's a reserved man, but when they receive a cat, that's another. It sounded like another guy. It's like if someone remove your brand and put another, because he became another person when you I don't know, but sometimes he put the cat on the rents, and I don't know. I never see the same guy making the same action with a human. That's so. I think is the every life on this earth is a good thing, and is necessary. Sometimes it's difficult to understand. For example, I think it's barata in English. It's difficult to understand sometimes, but I think there are some reason. I think that's it.
Yeah, I think it's easier to love a pet than a person because you kind of know it's predictable how the pet will behave, you know.
Uh,
But like a person, you can be disappointed. Like
mhm.
I can love you, and you can sometimes you cannot not love me back. So if I love a
Sure.
dog, he will love me back. Or I
Fear.
think they will. So sometimes people prefer like the crazy cat lady, you know, that woman is like just love a lot of cats and things because it's predictable. You know how the cats will behave, and if you feed them, if you do things to them, they will be there with you. People are not.
Unconditional love.
It's not unconditional. I think you condition. It's different. It's conditioned because if you do something, they will do back. People have to do unconditional love to love unconditionally because anything if I condition my love to a person, and I don't know, I'm caging that person to me, and people cannot be caged. Our
Yeah.
feelings, you know, so we are much more complex
Sure.
than animals. Somehow the emotions, human emotions are really complex, and sometimes we prefer pets because we know, like, okay, if I feed you, if I wash you, if I be with
Yeah.
you every day, you'll be here. People are
Okay.
not like that.
Sure. Barata is cockroach, I think. Huh?
Crockett, yeah.
Cockroach. Yeah.
And Rosalia, why do you think do people have pets?
As Ricardo said, I think it's difficult to understand certain kind of pets the people have, but it's dependent the situation, dependent of the people. But I think in general, when people have a pet like dogs, so they can understand more. I think your on. For some reason, I think they wanted to be more have a companionship, because can feel alone, I don't know, and have the pet for have the company in your house, or for your children, for increase the opportunity to exercise, to make exercise, maybe to many situational health benefits. To have more opportunity to get outside, to do something with the pet. I have so many reasons for that.
I'm definitely more active after having a dog.
Yeah.
Definitely. I wouldn't go to the forest every day if it wasn't my dog. I wouldn't run after him, like play with the ball, with the things I do, or with the rope. So definitely. Let's see. So let's go to the number 5. Is it wrong to spend money on pets and pet food when so many people are starving? And why? Ayla, what do you think?
It's a hard question. I don't know. I think it's difficult the comparison that people are starving, but I think it's I spend money with my pet. Don't how can I say, don't to solve the social problems, for example. I think it's difficult. I feel about sometimes about that, but I don't consider my act wrong, because I see sometimes a lot of pets on the street, and it's difficult as well. And but I don't consider this way it's wrong. And for example, don't spend money with my pet, because there are a lot of pets without food, or people without food. It's complicated, but I don't consider
I agree with you.
justify a reason with another.
I think these two things are not related. Some people said, you spending money to dog food or dog things, but there's a lot of people starving. That's very different things. So very different things. I think it's not related, and they do to make you feel bad about yourself. So if you're feeding a dog, treating a dog well, it's not a bad thing, or a dog or pets, any pet. I think we shouldn't get exotic animals from the wildlife to get it as a pet, like snakes. Let's see, wild animals or exotic animals should be there where they live. So, but dogs, they are already domesticated. So, what you could do is let them die. I don't know. Rosalia, what about you?
It's difficult to give opinion about that, because I don't think the people should be different because people are starving. it's terrible to think about that too. But if you have a pet, you need to feed them, and but I think the pet, you was so much money with them, because we can feed the pet only if your leftover food. There's so much people do that too, and it's difficult to think about the animal in the street to starving too, because when they see this pet in the street, it's difficult to think about them. Don't have food, don't have a house, don't have a place to sleep. They are founded for food all the time. It's difficult to think about that too. And I don't know, it's difficult to give opinion about that, but
Yeah.
it's okay.
At the same time, long time ago, we created this problem because the
Yeah.
dogs weren't to live on the streets. we created this problem. So, anyway. Ricardo,
But if you have a pet, you need to feed.
of course, yeah.
Of course.
Why? You have to look after them. Ricardo, what do you think?
Well, I'm not an expert regarding this topic, but I think is, in my opinion, it sounds like there are enough food for everyone, human and apparently. So I think is the problem that's on the distribution, not in the production. So I think and in some places, like even Brazil, there are a lot of waste. So I think is the problem is not exactly this thing, but as I told you, but I'm not an expert, but I think that's it.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe what you said is right. I'm not an expert as well, but I know is that it is food enough for everyone, and the distribution is a problem.
Particular because there are a lot of humans have the same problem. So
Yeah.
that's
in Brazil now is 33 million people starving.
Uh-huh.
It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. It's bigger than a country, entire country starving.
Sure.
Imagine, like, I was thinking that, like, if 33 million people are starving now, how many pets are starving? Because those people probably that they had pets before or around them. So anyway, it's a big problem. You guys were talking about dogs on the streets and things. So what do you think of people who dispose their pets because they are too much trouble, or because, oh, I got for example, here in England, people had a lot of when the pandemic started, the COVID pandemic started, people started getting dogs because they will get at home, and then they realized that they weren't pets people. They shouldn't do it, and they start to dispose that dogs or cats, more dogs than cats, because it's not a thing you do. You have to look after it. You have to feed. You have to walk. You have to. It's a thing there, needing you every day. So, what do you think? People just in Brazil is much worse because they just dispose on the streets. Like they put the dog in the car. It's so horrible, and they drive to a road and let animal there alone. So what do you think, Rosalia? What do you think, people? What do you think of them?
Yeah, I think these people should be more aware about that when they decide to keep the animals, especially dog, cats, I don't know, because it starts with this idea because they wanted to be more comfortable in the house because they are alone, feel alone, they need to company. But after that, need to start work in an office, need to left alone the pets. But if they are more aware about that, they don't will do that. But I think when they realize they have a pet, they need to spend money with them. They don't want to prepare about that and have this idea to keep to expose in the street. But I don't know what pass in this hurt when they think about that, or they put this animal there. I don't know what I can think about that because this person don't have hurt, don't have feelings. It's so sad thinking about that because I think it's similar a child. You will put the child in the street. You need to take after that. You need to put in this space to take care. You need to find someone to take care about them, the child. In the one thinking about the pet, don't need to take care more because I need to work. It's difficult to. Oh my gosh, I don't know.
It is, and some people get pets as workers.
Yeah.
In farmers, you see a lot. Like this dog is here to, it's like a sheep dog. They sheep the sheep, or the cows, or they are here to guard the house at the farm. And when they get old, people just dispose them as broken thing. I really hate that. It's not very kind. Ayla, and you?
Yeah, I think it's terrible. In fact, I can't understand why people came to do that, dispose of their pets as a way, because I think it's we talked to about a live being, and oh my gosh, as Rosalia said, if for example, if my parents got sick and I can't dispose them because they are sick or old people, I can understand. It's a
But there are people who do this. They dispose their family, their parents. There was retirement place, like a public one in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro, if I'm not mistaken. People used to, like dogs, they did like dogs in the middle of the night. They leave their old parents or grandma, old people at the doors. Can you believe that? So if they do with the people, they will do it with pets. It's horrible. But there are bad people in the world, a lot of bad people. So, Ricardo, and you. Ricardo?
I'm sorry.
Number 6.
Number 6. I don't know. I think certainly pets. It's necessary you have responsibility because you have to feed them. You have to, well, it's necessary to spend a part of your time. So I think is I think it's not pets are too much trouble. Actually, that's sometimes there are a kind of pets, and I think it's an unpredictable situation sometimes because there are pets calmer, and there are others that's it sounds like broke everything, but I think it's a possibility. So in this case, it's necessary you think a lot before you adopt it. And sometimes it's predictable. For example, you have you live at an apartment. It's not possible to adopt I don't know, Rottweiler or another kind of so I don't know if you don't have much work. Okay, it's possible to adopt a fish like a betta, or I don't know, even a cat. So that's it.
Yeah, you guys talking about adoption. And something is interesting about adoption here in England. It's very different from Brazil. Brazil, if you want to adopt a dog, if you see a dog or a cat on the streets, you get it and take to your home.
Yeah.
Not here. You can do it because there's no dogs or cats on the streets. If it is any dog or cat on the streets, they are lost. Someone lost them. And they have ships, so you can go anywhere, any pet store or a vet, and they can track that dog and find the owner. So you have two options. You have to adopt in the shelter, or you can buy a dog. And the shelters are full of pets, not just dogs, but a lot of dogs. And when you adopt a dog here, you have to go that you first thing you do is you see in the web page and you found this dog. So you go there, visit them. And then they schedule an appointment to you, an interview. So they will interview you, how much you earn a month, how's your house, if you have another pet, if you travel a lot, if you work out from home, or if you work in the office outside, in an office, or what else? If you have money enough, if you have a guide, everything they know. Like if you are a dog, if you had dogs before, pets before, they do a really long interview, and then you can visit the dog, and after that you have to visit the dog 3 times before you get that dog or pet, and you have to get along with that pet. After that, you pay for the insurance, health insurance, and then you pay to the shelter to get the dog. Vaccination, everything you have to do before. Sometimes they visit your house. So it's much more safe to the animal than in Brazil, that you just get a dog, or you go to in a dog's fair market and get a dog and take to your house. It doesn't happen here. If you buy, yes, but if you're adopting, it's like adopting a person, you know. So I like that system because the pet is safe somehow. The pet is safe. And about this, number 9, it's better buying or adopting a pet. Either it's better buying or adopting a pet, and why?
I think adopt is better than buy, because I think I believe when you decided to adopt, we have to consider a lot of questions, like you said, about if I have enough money to spend with pet, and I have enough time to look after the pet. So a lot of questions about the care this pet, and I think when we decided to adopt, I think people are more awareness, conscious awareness, I don't know, about the pet. And when people decide to buy a pet, sometimes maybe there are no good, no so prepared for that, maybe. So, but there I know there are people buy pets, and they look after good, and they are prepared for everything pet need. But I think it's happen better when you decide to adopt, because I think you can reflect better about the pet, and what to do they are needy, and that's it.
Yeah, I think there are two sides. You can adopt and you don't know anything about, like here you do, but in Brazil you don't know. If you get some dog, they don't have the history of the dog many times, or if you get on the streets, we don't get any. So sometimes the dog has a disease or kind of behavior you are not prepared to. Maybe if you are prepared to adopt a dog, but you don't know anything about his history, its history, you cannot prepare yourself. So, and when you buy a dog, you know these things. You know the breed, you know who was the mother, who was the father, and so you can choose the dog who was more appropriate for your life. So there's this advantage. But I think people shouldn't buy anyway. People shouldn't buy because there are too much dogs to be adopted there. So I think they need a house, they need a home before you start thinking about buying a dog or any pet. Rosalia, and you?
I think the both, because it depends on the situation, depends on the person are trying to get a dog or a pet. But I think for some person, I think it's better to buy, because you think more about the money that they had spending buying this pet, then could have take care more about that. But in my case, I think it's more adopting, because there are so much pets in the street and for adopted, and you can use the money for buy food and another thing that you need to use for this pet. But as you said, when you buy a pet, you know the breed, you know the mother, father, you know how it's you help you for your necessity. But when you simple adopting, you need to accept the dog as they are there. But at least it's good, because you can get a dog or a pet. You wanted to make the box is that is good.
Yeah, it's complicated because I saw much more in Brazil. People adopted cats and dogs from the street, and they start to ask for money on the internet to look after them because they have some disease or they have some condition they didn't know. So it is kind when they do that, when they adopt, but at the same time, you should be prepared to spend your own money if something goes wrong. So sometimes I help if it's like something unpredictable, but I don't think people should rely on these things, we should be prepared to, like, if I adopt a dog from the street and he has a cancer, I should be prepared to look after that with my own money. Not like people, I rescued this dog from the streets and now I don't have the money. So you shouldn't do it. In my opinion, you shouldn't get things you cannot support, So anyway, so
Antônio,
what?
as the subject is pet,
Mm-hmm.
do you think what animals can consider pets and what animals are not considered pets, in your opinion?
My opinion, I think animals who that are already domesticated. Like if you get something exotic from the nature, it shouldn't be a pet, in my opinion, because they can live there without our intervention. So dogs, cats, they kind of can't live without our intervention. They cannot, like if you just leave a cat or a dog in the jungle, they will die.
Bird is not pet. Bird.
What is beard?
Canada terra, melro.
Birds, no, birds. For me, no.
It's not a pet.
No, not for me. Because they can live in the nature by themselves. It shouldn't be.
Pets beyond animals that can be domesticated.
They are already domesticated. I think we shouldn't domesticate more. That's my opinion. You asked.
Right. And the Google is a resposta diferente da Google.
Yeah, that's my opinion. You asked what I think about. I think that.
Good.
Eliande, for you, how was the meeting, and is better buying or adopting a pet?
Both. Yeah. If you want adopt. If you want buy. It's okay. Okay. Each person make it better for you.
Oh, yeah. So I have to finish this meeting. There's a meeting just after this one. And thank you very much, everyone, for this conversation. And I hope you have a nice day today and a weekend and all days. So thank you very much for coming.